Got it. Close this out. Feedback. All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I love Fridays. It's my favorite day of the week. And then Saturday. Today is also the first of the month. I can't believe September is over with. I feel like it just started. So happy first of the month. I love October. I love Halloween. The weather's gorgeous in New York. I don't know where everyone else is located. I wish the weather was like this all the time. I love sweaters and jackets and stuff like that. Also, if you're into astrology, Mercury retrograde or power read, I call it that too, just started recently. So just make sure that you guys are communicating effectively during this time period. Ends the 18th. So very festive time. I hope you're drinking some tea or some pumpkin, whatever that's out there. But thank you guys for joining me this morning. Unfortunately, Vivian would not be able to join us, but if you guys have any questions after for her, please feel free to Slack her, email her, or let me know and I'll pass her over the information. So the presentation that I am doing today will be the first one that we've done. I've done. I felt like, especially in the spirit of Mercury retrograde, communicating with you guys and letting you guys know and be informed about all the things that we do offer at the boot camp after you guys graduate. And I mentioned some of this stuff to you guys already. I probably met one-on-one with you guys as well. So a lot of stuff. So I want to be able to share with you guys because I did it. I realized I was repeating a lot of the stuff when I had like my one-on-one meetings. And I was like, you know what, let me just invite everyone to a meeting and let me just only say it once. It will be recorded. So at any point in time, you do want to come back to this, you have a limited access to do so. So we're going to get started. Let me, wait, hold on. I'm presenting, but not sharing my screen. Let me share my screen. Also, too, guys, please make sure that you're muted because I am the only person here and I don't have anybody checking the chat. Can you please just hold off to any questions until the end of the presentation? It should be fairly, well, not quick, but everything should be pretty self-explanatory, but I know everybody has individual situations. So please hold off to any questions until the end of the presentation. I'm going to have to ask somebody to unmute themselves. And can everybody see their screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, perfect. So welcome to the Bootcamp Career Service Assistant. So we're going to go through a whole bunch of things. I kid you guys not. So on today's agenda, we're going to go over how do we support the post-bootcamp study plan. We're not going to go into the details of that. We did that. I know the guys, you guys who graduated last week, Friday, we went into that discussion. One-on-one meetings with career service advisor, the job placement tracker, resume revisions, interview preparations, our weekly Friday alumni session, our hiring partners, LinkedIn job referrals, job portal, and the mentorship that we do offer you guys as well. So quite a few things I will be going over today. And then after this presentation, I am going to go into the employment verification as well. And I'll explain that as well. So keep calm, we've got your back. This is actually a poster that I use in my presentation for those who are interested in the program, mostly because I know during this time right now, and I know you guys probably have been feeling it since graduation, it's probably been overwhelming, it's been stressful, it's been nerve-wracking, it could be just so it's a lot going on right now for you guys in the process of transitioning from leaving the boot camp and now trying to find work. But with that being said, don't worry, we do have your back. If there's anything at any time that you need something, please feel free to let us know. And you'll hear me repeat this over and over and over and over again to the point that you're going to be like, Courtney, stop talking about this. I already heard you the first time. But it's true. I speak I speak fairly often to a lot of alumni. I make some people, I tell a lot of people this too. Unless you let me know, I'm not one of those types of people who are going to like reach out to you every single day and be like, hey, what are you doing? No, I have way more stuff going on. One, two, I don't like for people to do that to me. So I wouldn't do that to you unless you definitely like really, really need the help. I'm not just going to pester you just to pester you. I have people who do pester me, which I'm fine with as well, because I understand how stressful and overwhelming and how badly you guys want to get jobs. That makes me happy too. I mean, I'm not getting anything from it, but I do get a lot of joy hearing the excitement and fulfillment that you guys have once you do find a job, because you guys are going to do so. So please, I know this time is very stressful. I'm very big into Wusan. If you ever have to take a step back, do what you have to do to center yourself, go for walks, just do what you have to do so that you can clear your mind and get back into the game. It can be very overwhelming. So just know, like I said, we have your back. So the first question I have for you guys, and you guys can unmute yourself, how long do you have access to career service after graduation? Does anyone know? You can unmute yourself.
In some capacity, it seems like lifetime, right?
Yes, Nikki, ding, 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 ding. So forever, forever, ever, ever, ever. As Andre 3000 said. So at any time that you're looking for work, please email hiring and we will help you. I have this happen very often, in which alumni who's graduated 3, 4, 5 years ago, or even most recently, like a year ago, who is interested in going back into the job market. And they reach out to us for assistance. So at any time, you guys can find a job tomorrow. Maybe you don't like that job. Maybe you don't like that job and you're interested in finding something else. So always reach out to us at any time or at any stage that you're interested in finding work. We will do the same thing that we've been doing, or what we usually do with having your resume in our files, sending it out to our hiring partners. We'll include you in our email chain as well. So please, at any time, at any point in your careers that you are interested down the line in finding additional employment, you have support forever, forever, ever. So how do we support? So as you guys know, the real work begins now. And I say that all the time. Now, this is the time where you will be applying all of the things that you learned during the boot camp, and you're still learning during, the post boot camp study plan into the jobs and careers that you guys are looking for. There are so many services, as you guys seen from the agenda. There's so many services that we do support. And some of the things I feel like I'm not listing, I had to ask Vivian to double check my presentation because I felt like I was missing some things. And just a sidebar, some of the stuff may seem a bit repetitive to you during the presentation, but nonetheless, there's so many services available and access that you guys do have. So please make sure that you guys utilize it. You guys paid money to be a part of the academy. Make sure that you milk every single thing that you can get out of us. That's my feeling about it. If you are ever in need, like I said, and you're going to be seeing this email quite often. Hopefully I engrave it into your brain. But at any time that you need help or have any questions, feel free to email hiring at NYC Data Science. The reason why I asked for you guys to email there, especially if it's something like important or job related, is because not only do I have access to it, even though I may be the one who responds to it quite often, there's several other colleagues who have access to this email. Maybe they'll pick up on something that I didn't notice. Vivian also is another one of those people who have access to this email. So it's just really important to email hiring because it'll outreach to a few other people who can also help during the process. So first thing, the post-bootcamp study plan. So for all of you guys that graduated last week, you guys should have completed at least the first week of the post-bootcamp material. I know I have some people who graduated and are part of like the IDL program. You guys are a little bit different in regards to your timing. During this presentation, I'm going to speak in general. But I know for some of you guys, there may be time limits and time constraints that you do have. So if you have graduated in like the part-time, full-time, and I think I have some people who graduated end of August, early September. You guys should be somewhere between like 2 or 3 weeks done with your post bootcamp study plan. If you haven't started, please start as soon as possible because the post bootcamp study plan is something that is very important during your interview process. The thing is that, and I think I've probably told all of you guys this, or I probably haven't. I'm not really the tech savvy. I don't know anything that you guys know, right? But what I have learned during this process is how important the technical assessments are. And sometimes I've had people tell me they had panel interviews in which they were grilled for about an hour to 2 hours with 3 different managers, hiring managers, just, throwing questions at them, both combination of behavioral questions and technical questions. So it's really, really important, and it goes hand in hand with you guys looking for work. So please, if you have not started yet, make sure that you do start the post bootcamp study plan. Also, allocate your time to studying and applying to work. So if you are anyone who's graduated last week, maybe set a schedule for yourself, kind of similar to the schedule that you were doing while you were in the boot camp. So if you allocate 8 hours, make sure that you divide that time. If you have less time to allocate to your studying and applying to work, maybe do 4 hours, for instance. Maybe you'll allocate 4 hours, 2 hours to studying, and then another 2 hours to applying to work. So just make sure that you have a set schedule for yourself. That will help tremendously in this process. So that you can be on top of the post bootcamp study plan as well as applying to your job. One-on-one meetings. Okay, so I know for a fact those who graduated last week, I've reiterated this, but you guys were not going to. I wanted to reassure you guys that you guys will still be seeing my face, as you can see. So you guys can schedule a meeting with me as often as possible. Like I was saying earlier, I'm not one of those people who demands you to meet with me daily or weekly. I know you guys have like real life things going on, but I will check in on you. If I don't hear from you in like a couple of weeks or 3 weeks, if I realize that you're going missing, I am a worry wart in some capacity, well, in a lot of capacity, to be honest. So I will reach out and be like, okay, I have not heard from you in a while. Is everything okay? How's the process going? Just to simply check in. So you guys have access to meet with me. I'm going to, at the conclusion of this presentation, I am going to send this meeting link out. specifically mine, because I would like to at least have one meeting with you guys. And the reason being is that there's a lot of information that I would like to get from you to help you find jobs. And I'll go into more details when we get to the hiring partner portion of the presentation. So yes, please schedule at least one meeting with me if you have not done so already. I met with a few people, but please make sure that you schedule one, because it'll help me help you during the process. The job tracker. So I had emailed everyone last week, Friday, the job tracker. It I lost my train of thought. The job tracker is really important and helpful during your job search process. It helps keep organized your work. It also helps with deciding how you should pivot from the jobs that you're applying to. Maybe you notice a trend with the jobs that you are applying to as well. For instance, maybe you're applying to just an array of different roles: data analyst, data scientist, data engineering. Maybe you're only receiving interviews for the data engineering roles. Okay, maybe I just want to focus on the engineering roles. That also applies to particular industries. Maybe you're getting more feedback or hearing back from a particular industry. Maybe you're applying to marketing, data analyst roles, and you're not hearing anything back, but you're hearing a lot from financial companies. So it helps really pivot what works for you, what's not working for you. It keeps you on track of the roles that you've applied to already, and the amount of roles that you've applied to as well is important. So it's really important to create the job tracker. I'm going to show you an example of one. So this particular person, they graduated 2 cohorts ago. And as you can see, his is fairly simple. He included like the job links of the roles that he did. He had the IDs, but not for all of them. And then he included the status of the roles that he was applying to. Got it. All right. And the last touch date, which is really important too, because then you know whether or not you should follow up with that role, what should be the next steps in the role that you did. He also included some notes in here as well. And then if he had any contact with the people. Now, this part is a little bit harder. Sometimes you may have a contact person for this. Sometimes you may not. Most of the time you may not. But if you do, just so like you can keep organized with who you can easily reach out to and how you can easily reach out to them is important as well. So as you can see, this particular person was only applying to roles in Maryland. And he was pretty much applying to a lot of IT type of roles. And he sprinkled a few consulting roles in there as well. But what I did want to highlight is that once he got to Deloitte, which he ended up accepting that role. But he was pretty much applying to a lot of scattered roles, but for the most part, he was getting most of his feedback from data scientist roles. So he kept on going with data scientist role and ended up at Deloitte. Great guy too. So this is just an example of one, so that you guys can, just see how it looks. And again, when you guys do create the job tracker, make sure to save it to your Google Drive and share it with hiring at NYC Data Science. Just so if you make any changes, you guys are not having to keep sending it every single time. We'll save the link, and what I usually do, I'll pop in here and there and check on to see and make any recommendations in the document. You'll get the alert. And then if you were to follow up, I'll get the alert, or whoever is in hiring will also get the alert as well. All right. So resumes. So before I go into this, I need everyone's resume, please. If you have not done so, please, please, please send me your resume. I beg of thee, send me your resume. Um, if you do need additional resume and or cover letter assistance, please let me know. I had someone ask me about a cover letter. Is it mandatory? No. What I do, but I do recommend having it. And I'm a very upfront person. I don't like to sugarcoat things. I'll tell you the devil and the angel side of it. So, there has been a trend of companies not requiring or asking for a cover letter. Google, AIG, quite a few companies are starting to not ask for cover letters anymore. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I think, especially in you guys' case, in which you're not necessarily coming from a data science or data analyst background, it kind of helps explain your story and how you transition from, whatever background you came in from and how you got into the data science world, right? So because of that, I support it, but you will come across where you would apply to a job and they may not even ask for it. So it's really up to you. I can't force you guys to do anything, but if you do decide to do a cover letter, always reach out to hiring. We'll definitely go over it and help you guys out. I also included my ATS presentation in there. I should include the example of somebody's job tracker that included columns of their ATS findings. They actually used, I forget the website. I keep doing that. They used the website that I offered in the presentation to compare their resume to the job descriptions that they were using and end up making changes from there. And, he explained to me that it's been really helpful. So during the process of you applying, you are going to see that you may have to change and spruce up your resume for the role that you're applying to as well. So again, if you need help with that, let us know. So my favorite part, the interview process. So this is just for you, a note for you guys. We have 3 interview portions that we offer you guys. So behavioral is usually with me. You will let me know that you'll email hiring stating that you're interested in doing 100% behavioral questions. What I usually ask is for you to provide a job description that you're interested in applying to, and I base the questions based off of the job description. Again, like I told you guys, I know nothing technical. I couldn't provide a SQL question and you give me the answers and you could tell me that it was gray. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know what none of that stuff means. So it'll be 100% behavioral questions. Then we also have nyc.com and meeting.nyc.com. So, and we'll actually go into the mentoring towards the end. But it's the skill.com one in particular. They do a really great job. It's with an actual person and you can do either 2 30-minute or 1 hour mock interviews. And those are a combination of behavioral and technical questions. So you really get the feel of what to expect when you do an interview in that way. Then, hold on one second. And then we have the Code Challenge program in LMS and Codility. So this is 100% technical. This is similar to what Zach will be doing later on in the next hour during his presentation, in which, and you'll notice this as you guys apply, you would receive a tech assessment. You would have to present, or they may sit there and watch you code the problem that they present to you. So those are also great practices for that portion of the interview. Usually, I want to say that's usually like round 2 in the interview process. The first one is usually the hiring manager, the HR person who's going to ask you a few questions. And then you'll get presented this coding challenge, and then you may interview with like the higher up manager. So it's really important to practice those. At any time you're interested in doing those, at any time that you're interested in doing those, email hiring@nycdatascience.com and let us know what particular interview you are interested in completing. After you send that email, we would then follow up with the next steps for you to do. With Codility, we will email you from the website the information that you need to include to complete that actual one. And same, well, the Codility too. So you'll get the information so that you can complete those. And our Friday alumni check-in session. So this is something that we offer every Friday, every single Friday from 10 to 11. In the case of when Zach does his presentation, because his is during 10 to 11, we usually leave the last half hour for like any questions. And then we'll do like our normal like check-in questions, ask how everybody's been doing. It's kind of like a peer group in which you're sharing and exchanging, information, findings that you guys had, anything that you would like to share during your process. So like I said, we do offer the Zach Zabar technical interview prep. Today is the third one. We have two more. The last one will be in December. So, and those are the first Friday of the month. So the next one, I don't even know what's the first Friday of November and December, but that's when those last two would take place. We have hiring partners present. I think some of you guys joined last week, Friday, in which we had 3 hiring partners that joined us. It was like Cruisebound, KPMG, and Yipit Data. They joined us last week, Friday. We plan on doing a few more. Next week, Friday, well, I'll tell you that later on. I don't want to intertwine, but next Friday, we have one more person come in as well. We do course reviews for just like special topics. So next Friday, we're going to be doing NLP, which we're finding that some companies are requesting in the job search process. And Zayu will be doing that presentation. We've had other ones too, in which Vivian went over like the Amazon questions, I believe. So we also have that as well. And then we'll have like job tracker and job search overview and updates that we'll do with you guys as well during that time. It's during the alumni check-in. So our hiring partners. So currently I am working with 50 hiring partners that I check in with to see if they have any updated roles that they would like to share with us. Anything they sometimes, actually most of them, they reached out to us and let us know that they were interested in doing their partnerships. And what's really awesome is that this is another way for you to apply to jobs. But this is actual direct people that I'm having conversations with. So it'll be kind of like you're a few steps ahead in the process. So I wanted to share this also with you guys. So if you guys ever been to the Academy's website, if you go to for companies in the hiring partners, this is how they actually come here and reach out to us and let us know that they're interested in, submitting job openings to us. And this is how I get the information of the different roles that I can present to you guys. You'll see, and I've probably started sending you like just emails of just different roles that's been presented to me. Those are that, and that's the hiring partner emails that you'll receive. So those are hiring partners that reached out and they're like, hey, we're looking for this role. They provide a job description. I usually share your resume. I think I'm jumping the gun on some of this stuff. But I usually share your resume with them. And sorry guys. Yeah, I usually share your resume with them first. And then I also send it to you guys and let you guys know whether or not you're applying. So remember earlier how I mentioned that the one-on-one meetings I really would like for us to do? The reason being is because of the hiring partners. So a hiring partner reaches out to me, they're looking for somebody in financial, a financial analyst of some sort. If I know that you don't want financial analyst roles, then I went and present your resume at that time. Of course, you have any opportunity to apply after I send it to you guys, but I will not send it out to, I would not send your resume for something that I know you're not interested or wanting to do. And that's perfectly fine. You know, you want to make sure that you guys find the job that you're interested in. And that's my goal too. So that's why the one-on-one meetings are really important, because I then can gauge what you want, what you don't want, and refer the resumes to the right place. I don't want to send anything that you guys are not interested in. So yeah, check out job opening documents. So this document here is the one that I also shared with you guys last week, Friday. If you ever have any questions about roles that are currently open, yes, I emailed them to you guys, but if you wanted to just check back and see other roles, they're all located on this document. Wider Circle, excuse me, they are always hiring. I kid you not. We have a few alumni that work for them, and we have a really good rapport with them. So they just I reached out to our hiring partner, and he told me that they have, I think he has 2 roles currently available, data science roles available. So if you guys, I sent out that email with the job link. If you guys are interested in that role, you know, make sure that you apply to it. Each job description, every job or hiring partner, I include the company's name, the role that they're looking for, about the position. So just, it depends. Sometimes it may be very short. Sometimes I include the actual job description if it was a PDF file that was sent to me. Most of the time I include a link if it's provided to me. And then this is the most important part, is how to apply. Please make sure that you guys follow the instructions on how to apply. Because for me, for organizational purposes, it helps me if you let me know in accordance to what role you're applying to, so that I can follow up more easily with the hiring partners. I get a lot of emails from you guys, so it's just really, really helpful if you individualize which roles you are applying or interested in applying to. Hold on, guys, I need to sip my coffee. Actually, I'm gonna pause this. Any questions so far? You can unmute yourself.
Hey, Courtney. I imagine you get a bunch of emails every day from all the alumni. I was just wondering, so if someone were to apply and then, like, I think I sent you an email, do you typically confirm like that you received the email, or is it just understood that?
And it's funny because I was thinking about this last week. I need to do a better job with confirming, because sometimes I get into a habit of like just trying to like send it off really quickly. Like, say for instance, if you email me now and I'm like in the process of doing something, I try to make sure I attach your your resume to the email chain that I have for that hiring partner. And usually what I do is send it by the end of day. So say for instance, if you did reach out to me that like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, I probably haven't sent it at that moment because I'm still waiting for other people to send me their information, but I usually send it to them the end of day. I do need to do better with confirming with you guys if I sent it or not, but it's just a lot going on at the same time. But if you just want to confirm with me, like, Courtney, what's going on. What I do recommend is slacking me
Okay,
for
cool.
verification if you have not heard from me and you're just curious as to what's going on in the role. I've had people who've interviewed with the job and they'll tell me, I literally had this happen earlier this week. I had an alumni who interviewed for a job, had not heard back from the hiring manager. I'll reach out to the hiring manager and ask them like, hey, what's going on in the process of this role? So I do those follow-ups as well. So again, if I don't, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm trying to do better. It's just really, really hard.
Yeah, no, thank you. It's good to know Slack is a good way
Yes,
to just follow up.
honestly, I really prefer Slack over emails, guys. I mean, like if it's a general question, right? If it's something that you a general question, not something where you really need help in, please Slack me. Why? Because I have Slack connected to my phone too. I have my emails too, but it's just I get alerts from Slack, so it's just easier to Slack me. Any other questions?
Yeah.
I know it's a lot of information. Hi, Will. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Are both of Zach's previous two sessions recorded by any chance? Where can you find that?
I actually sent that email last week, Friday as well. So
Okay.
I sent the email last week, Friday, with the two previous presentations that he did with the coding information that you need that he presented for that week as well. So
Okay. Let me look for that email, yeah.
Yeah, double check your email. If not, Slack me and I'll forward that email to you. But I believe I included you in that chain.
Got it. Perfect. Thank
It was
you.
in the email. It should be in the email that I told you that we will be having the meeting today.
Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
I'll look for that. Thank you.
Yes, no problem. Any other questions? All right, so let me wrap this up because we're at 9:42. So LinkedIn also too, if you have not done so, please make sure that you connect with Vivian on LinkedIn in our alumni LinkedIn group as well. The reason being is that we do a lot of different events. I kid you not. Every other week we have not even every other week. Every week we're at least hosting some sort of event in which we have like alumni come back and talk about their experiences and just sharing a lot of great information. It's a great opportunity to also network with your community and other alumni. One thing I can say is everyone, and I've never seen this before, everyone is so willing to help each other out, especially our alumni. I've reached out to alumni asking them for help for certain things, and they always are willing to help, which is really, really awesome to see. So, feel free to reach out to other alumni. This is also helpful during your job search. Maybe you can connect with someone who you are interested in a role at. So I had somebody who was interested in Disney. I didn't know anybody off of my top, like I don't know anyone really. I recommended him speak to Vivian. But I also recommended him going back into that LinkedIn group and seeing if there's any of our alumni who is currently working in that job. Maybe they can't get you a referral, which we'll also get into in a couple of more slides, but maybe they can't do that, but maybe they can offer you some guidance, some help. All that stuff is really important during the process to networking and connecting with these group of people. Please, I've never seen it before in which so many people are willing to help each other out. And I think it really boils down to the fact that they've been in your shoes at one point. So they know how it feels. And they're always willing to help each other out. So make sure that you join the LinkedIn group as well. Job referrals. So email hiring the job for a job referral request. What we would need from you is the role, the link of to the application in your resume. We will follow up with you if we have and I emphasize that if we have connections to that company. Normally, Vivian is the person who does this because she knows so many people. It's amazing. Through different industries and different companies. So she would try her best to connect you to somebody who can help you possibly get a referral. Also, too, we recommend that you do reserve this for your top 3 companies, only because we can't give you a referral for every single job that you apply to. You'll be applying to about 20 to 30 jobs a day. We can't refer every single role. So do it for like those jobs that you really, you're like, okay, I have to have this job. Let me see if Vivian knows anybody that can possibly connect me to this role and refer me. And we'll do our best to connect you to those people. So that's goes back to the Disney person that I was telling you about. We may not have somebody in Disney, but what you can do also is double check the LinkedIn group to see if there's any possible connections that you can have. Oh, wait, I forgot a bullet point. The job portal. So I believe everybody did the job portal. Please make sure that you have completed it and submitted it. I have not gotten many of those done. Just a sidebar, it can be a direct reflection of your resume. Make sure that you have your GitHub, your blog posts, and all that stuff connected. This is another opportunity for you to be visible. I forgot to include the link. Hold on, but I could do this right here. So the same way that our hiring partners have access to send us different job openings, they also have access to explore candidates here as well. So they will have to fill out this information, but once they do, they will have access to the resume book that you guys have seen previously in the presentation. So and also too, sometimes a hiring partner will go through the resume book and not let us know that they were interested in anyone and start interviewing you and let you know, like, hey, I found your profile on NYC Data Science resume book. I'm interested in interview. That's happened quite a few times. So please make sure that you have your job portal created because this is another opportunity to make yourself visible. The last slide, the mentorship program. So each of you guys, since graduating, you have 10 credits. To access the mentoring website, it's meeting.nyc.com. Feel free to reach out to us if you have any additional assistance that you need or outside assistance. And what I mean by that, and I'll give an example, I had somebody who was interviewing for Spotify. I knew somebody else that was who interviewed for Spotify, and for personal reasons, she could not take the role, but she was offered the opportunity. So what I did was I connected the person who was interviewing with Spotify and the person who got through Spotify. I got them connected together, and they were able to discuss whatever the person who got through to Spotify to the person that was interviewing obviously worked, because she ended up getting the interview. She ended up getting offered the role at Spotify too. So that's just an example. So if it's something a little bit more detailed or intricate, we can see who else we can connect you to help in that. But we have quite a few mentors, again, willing to help you guys share any advice that they've currently or things that they went through to help you guys during the process. And that's the conclusion. Any questions? That was a lot of talking. I see I have a question in the chat.
I can speak up a little bit.
Hi, Vivian.
Hi, guys. I have a lot of linking connection requests. So if you can send me a message or Slack me, I will make sure I add you. Just want to comment on that.
Thank you, Vivian. Any questions?
I have a quick question. So on the job portal, I'm updating that right now, but it says experience in NYC DSA, but on the program, there's the BDS and then the cohorts. But what about the remote online ones? What are we supposed to select? Because I think all of these are just for
I see.
onset.
Courtney, can you check in with Joyu and Royce to see whether we can add a remote live option, remote option?
Okay, but that's weird. I thought there was an option for them. No?
Maybe it went expired because all the
Okay.
cohort has an expiration date.
Got it.
Yeah.
Any other questions? So everyone's aware and now you're familiarized with all the things that you guys have access to. Feel free to reach out to us if you need help with anything. Like I said, we got your back. So don't be shy or timid or worried about asking any questions during the process. We're here to help you guys.
Yeah, we have another session coming up in 10 minutes. Everyone should jump in and experience the mock interview.
They're staying.
They're staying.
They're staying. Yeah,
Okay.
they're staying for Zach. Everybody's ready to meet Zach. So
awesome.
All right. So before everybody's in our last 10 minutes, I wanted to go over the employment verification process. Also, we got a lot of questions about this process as well. There you go. The employment verification will be sent to you after you start employment. This isn't something that you do right now or anything for you to worry now, but this is something to keep in the back of your mind once you guys do start working. All right, so the agenda is what is employment verification, what is the purpose, and what to expect. So the purpose of this presentation is to give you a heads up of what to expect after finding employment. Heads up, I will reach out to you. So you're going to see an email from me with the information that's being requested. So what is an employment verification? The purpose of the employment verification is to confirm that you, you have been able to find employment post-graduation. It's also required for our asset accreditation, which we just became the first data and only data science academy who's accredited. This is considered required proof of our 2-hour accreditation committee. And this process is important for the academy to become accredited. Well, we are accredited. Sorry, I did this previously. So what do you do once you find out that you're hired? Please inform hiring at NYC Data Science Academy with that you received employment and your start date. I've had people Slack this information to me too. That's fine as well. I usually will share it with Vivian, what's going on. And then usually when they let me know, I just remind them again that I'm going to reach out to them after the start date with the employment verification email. So this is the example of the email that you're going to receive. It looks exactly like this. This is the same exact one. So we asked for the offer letter receive date, the employment start date and job title, employer company name, employer contact, employer address, HR contact or supervisor name. Now, the reason why we give you the option is because sometimes supervisors do not feel comfortable with disclosing their information. So an HR contact name, number, and email address is good as well. So you have the option to pick between replying to the email or submitting the survey. As you can see, this is the survey, the hyperlinked part. The survey asks for a bit more information, which is also helpful as well. Please fill out all information to the best of your ability. If you do not include important information, I may have to follow up with you. So to avoid any additional communication back and forth, please fill out all of the questions that's been required to you guys, because then it'll just be easier for the both of us. I don't want to keep having to reach out to you guys. So please, please, please send all the information. There will be additional emails sent for salary review and review requests. The salary review is only to be sent to Vivian. She's the only person who has that information. This is really helpful as well during the process, which I did not discuss in the previous presentation, but you can also reach out to us if you're having issues with deciding what salary you should negotiate during your process. So Vivian has access to data on how you should, or how much money you should request for a particular role. The review requests, those are reviews that we ask for you guys to share about your experience during the boot camp. This also helps us with gaining traction for other people to sign up. Then after that, expect a follow-up email 30 days after the start date. So if you started working October 1st, I will send an email November 2nd, just asking for you to confirm the information that you sent to me previously and that you've been working there for 30 days. Depending on the type of employment, part-time, temporary, self-employment, there may be additional document for you to sign. So just keep that in the back of your mind. If you let me know that you're working part-time, there may be additional document. If you're working full-time, there's nothing for you to sign. This is just for part-time, temporary, and self-employment. You'll only need to do this once. So after you guys complete it, I will never hit you I will never reach out to you guys again to do this. So you can start another job a year from now. I'm not going to complete this. This is only important for those who start working after the boot camp. Also too, and this is really, really important, we will not contact your employer. So we are retrieving and asking for this information, but we will not be reaching out to them under any circumstance unless we were to get permission from you. But we do not contact them. I will not contact them. Nobody contacts them. It's just more so information that is needed for asset confirming that you work for them.
Okay, I do want to show you one more just to show you.
Any questions?
I want to mention,
Yeah.
if you feel you perform well at the job and willing to let us collect a 1-minute survey, that would be great. We want to send out either directly to your boss or you send your boss a link regarding how the training being helpful for your new employment. It's super quick. So you can pass the link or we can get your permission to pass the link. Which we try to stay in trend with employment need. So we will ask how much the bootcamp training help with the new employment. So that's something we usually do at least a month into the job, sometimes a few months into the job. So if you feel, oh, I did a good job, or I want to see how my boss feel about my performance, I'm willing to let Academy to do a 1-minute quick survey.
Any questions about the service that we provide for you guys or the employment verification? We have 2 minutes before we have a bunch of people jumping in. Theodore, you wrote, will the YouTube video be unlisted as well? Do you mean, would it be on the YouTube website?
Yes, I saw that it was actually being broadcast to the YouTube website from Zoom. So the previous broadcast, the NYC Dats I had, is actually up on the YouTube site. So I was wondering if it was going to stay up on there publicly or be unlisted if I need to save it somewhere or something like that. It will be on YouTube, but I will be sharing with you guys later the actual like Zoom
recording of it as well, because we're recording this as well in Zoom. And there's like a passcode and all that information. So yeah, it's going to be on both platforms.
Excellent, thank you.
No problem. All right, guys. So I'm going to stop the recording here.
I